In today's lesson, we will be solving equations with variables on both sides. We already had the first lesson on variables with both sides, and now we're continuing it by adding a couple more steps. The first step is to distribute everywhere necessary, because it might be possible that you have parentheses on both sides of an equal sign. So if you have more than one place to distribute, make sure you distribute everywhere. And then the step number 2, combine like terms, of course, only if they are on the same side. That once again is if you have 2x plus 3 plus 4x, they're on the same side of this equal sign, and then 2x minus 4. So you would only combine the terms that are on the same side as that equal sign. And then always move all your variables to one side of the equation. This was our last lesson, so if we had 2x plus 5 equals 3x, we have variables on both sides, and we need to get them all onto one side of that equal sign. And then once you've done those 3 steps, you're back to a 2-step equation where you just do your addition and subtraction, and then your multiplication and division. And then finish up and check your answer. After this lesson, you will be the master of solving all equations. Here's our first example. 2 times n plus 2 equals 5n minus 5. So first step is to distribute everywhere. And in this case, we just have one set of parentheses that we will distribute. So this becomes 2 times n, which is 2n, and then 2 times 2, which is 4. 2n plus 4 equals 5n minus 5. Step number 2 is to combine like terms that are on the same side of this equal sign, but there are no like terms that are on the separate sides. So now we have to move the variable to one side. And let's see, I can move 5n by subtracting 5n on both sides. So I will subtract 5n on the right side to cancel it out, subtract 5n on the left side, and now I have to combine my like terms. So I have 2n and a minus 5n. That becomes negative 3n. And then my plus 4 comes down, equals, what's left over on the right side is a negative 5. So it equals negative 5. Now I'm down to a 2-step equation, and I will subtract 4 on both sides. So they cancel out on the left, and I'm left with a negative 3n equals negative 9, because negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. And then the last step is to divide by that negative 3. So n equals a positive 3. Don't forget to plug it in and check your answer. Okay, and now for example 2. 9 times m plus 2 equals negative 6 times m plus 7. First step is to distribute everywhere, and in this case we have to distribute on both sides. So we have 9 times m, which is 9m, and then 9 times 2, which is plus 18, equals negative 6 times m, which is negative 6m, and negative 6 times 7, which is negative 42. After you distribute, look to see if you can combine like terms that are on the same side of your equal sign. And in this case, there's nothing to combine. So, move on to the next step. We need to move our variables onto one side. So in this case, I'm going to take this negative 6m, and I'm going to add 6m to both sides. So negative 6m and 6m cancel out on the right side. On the left, I'm going to combine the like terms 9m and 6m. So that becomes 15m and bring down that plus 18 equals negative 42. And now I'm to a two-step equation that I can solve, and I will start by subtracting 18 on both sides. So I subtract 18 on the left to cancel, and then subtract 18 on the right. 15m comes down, and that's equal to negative 42 minus 18 is a negative 60. And now the last step is to divide by 15, and negative 60 divided by 15 is a negative 4. Alright, on to example 3. This one, I think, involves every step. So the first thing is we need to distribute everywhere, and we only have to distribute in one spot, 2 times y and 2 times negative 5, but the y out in front needs to just fall down, so y plus 2 times y is 2y, and 2 times negative 5 is negative 10, equals 2y plus 2. After you distribute, look to see if you can combine like terms that are on the same side of the equal sign. And in this case, on the left side, we have like terms that we can combine. Y plus 2y is 3y. So 3y minus 10 equals 2y plus 2. So we distributed, combine like terms on the same side, and now we have to move our variable onto one side. So let's move 2y over by subtracting 2y on both sides. So I will subtract 2y here to cancel, and then subtract 2y on this side. And when I combine my like terms, I combine 3y minus 2y, which is just 1y. And you can write it as 1y, or simply write it as just y. And then minus 10 comes down, equals a 2 on the right side. And now we're just to a one-step equation where we simply have to add 10 to the other side. Add 10 to cancel, and then add 10, and 2 plus 10 is 12. Y equals 12. So lots of steps, but not too difficult. I think you can handle it. Alright, here is our last example together using all of the steps, and then I'm going to give you 2 that you can try on your own. So 5x plus 9 equals 3 times x minus 5 plus 7. First step, distribute everywhere, and in this case, just have to distribute on the one side. 3 times x is 3x, and then 3 times negative 5 minus 15, bring down the plus 7, and then on the left side, we still have 5x plus 9. After you distribute, combine like terms that are on the same side of the equal sign, and in this case, we have negative 15 plus 7. So on the left, we still have 5x plus 9 equals 3x. Negative 15 plus 7 is a negative 8. Now we have variables on both sides. We have to get them onto one side. So let's move the 3x over to the left by subtracting 3x on both sides. Subtract 3x on the right side, and then subtract 3x on the left. On the left side, when you combine like terms, you're combining 5x minus 3x, which is 2x, plus 9 comes down, equals, on the right side, we have a negative 8 left over. So now we're to a two-step equation where we can subtract 9 on both sides. So here they cancel on the left, and I'm left with 2x equals negative 8 minus 9 is negative 17. And then the last step, divide by 2 and divide by 2. Well, I know 2 doesn't go into 17 evenly, so we will get a decimal. X equals negative 8.5. And don't forget, you can always check your answers by plugging these back in. Okay, last two examples. Why don't you write these down, pause the video, try them on your own, see if you can do it, and then come back and check your answers. You should get that x equals negative 21 for the first one. And you should get that p equals 8 for the second one. I hope you did well. This is the very last lesson of this unit. So, of all the equations in this unit, you now know how to solve all of them, no matter how complicated. In this, we got up to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. So, good luck with the lesson.